When Robert Francis was announced as the new leader of the Catholic Church, the world gasped. Not just because he was the first American pope, but because his election came wrapped in controversy, whispers of political meddling, and explosive backlash from religious leaders like Pastor Gino Jennings. Behind the white smoke and global applause lay a firestorm of suspicion, spiritual warfare, and power games that many believe still hasn't fully unraveled. Who is Robert Francis? And what dark secrets are hidden behind his meteoric rise to the papacy? Born in Detroit, Michigan, Robert Francis grew up in a blue-collar Catholic family. Despite his humble beginnings, he was known for his sharp intellect, compassion, and boldness. By 18, he'd already earned a scholarship to Yale Divinity School. By 25, he was one of the youngest American theologians invited to consult for the Vatican. He was magnetic, eloquent, and unafraid to challenge Vatican tradition. But as he climbed the ranks of the clergy, rumors swirled of backdoor meetings with political leaders, intelligence officials, and even billionaires with ties to global agendas. In what was supposed to be a routine papal conclave, the College of Cardinals stunned the world by electing an American, a first in the Church's 2,000-year history. His election broke centuries of tradition. No European? No Italian? No Latin American? Instead, an American pope with close ties to Washington, Harvard think tanks, and interfaith diplomacy circles. Almost immediately, conservative factions within the Vatican expressed concern. Gino Jennings, a fiery Pentecostal pastor known for his unfiltered sermons, didn't hold back. "You better open your eyes. That ain't no Holy Ghost-led decision. That's politics, not prophecy. That man was put there to serve an agenda, not the Almighty." Pastor Gino Jennings launched a series of viral sermons, calling Robert Francis a puppet of the global elite and a false prophet cloaked in white. While some dismissed his claims as extreme, many evangelicals and even some Catholics began to raise questions. Was there truth behind Jennings' fire? Jennings' words caught fire online, with millions watching, sharing, and debating his accusations. His sermons echoed long-standing fears of spiritual compromise and political infiltration. Whispers of CIA involvement in Vatican matters aren't new. From the Cold War to today, intelligence agencies have long monitored the Church's global influence. But Robert Francis had reportedly met with multiple U.S. intelligence figures during his time as a cardinal. Some say it was for interfaith strategy. Others suspect deeper motives, perhaps using the Vatican's global platform to advance political objectives. According to leaked documents, Robert Francis had dinner meetings with figures connected to NATO, U.S. ambassadors, and digital surveillance programs aimed at religious radicalism. As Pope, Robert Francis quickly made bold moves, meeting with the UN, signing climate accords, and calling for global digital regulation. While many praised his progressive stances, traditionalists saw red flags. The American Pope became a global ambassador overnight. But critics argued he was abandoning theology for diplomacy. Faith leaders feared the Church was becoming a political machine disguised in robes and incense. Internal resistance grew. A group of conservative cardinals issued an unprecedented dubia, a formal set of questions challenging the Pope's theology. Others even whispered of schism. Some clergy accused him of rewriting doctrine. Others believed he was a reformer sent by God. The Vatican hadn't been this divided since Martin Luther nailed his theses to a door. Rumors surfaced of secret meetings between cardinals discussing how to pressure Pope Robert Francis into resignation, or worse. Robert Francis became the most protected pope in modern history. Surveillance was increased. Private conversations leaked. Trusted allies disappeared from public life. As the backlash grew louder, Pope Francis II, his official papal name, appeared more isolated. Some said he was cracking. Others claimed he was simply praying more. One shocking revelation came from a Vatican whistleblower who claimed the Pope was under constant psychological manipulation by unseen advisors, possibly American. Then came the infamous Easter speech. Robert Francis stood before millions, his face pale, his words cryptic. The Church must not be ruled by fear, or by those who speak in shadows. My loyalty is to Christ, not to kings, not to nations, not to intelligence. It was his boldest and final address. Days later, he vanished from public view. The Vatican claimed he was on retreat. But many believe he was forced into hiding. To this very day, the truth about Robert Francis remains a mystery, clouded in controversy, riddled with speculation, and shrouded in silence from those who once stood closest to him. Was he a holy disruptor sent by divine intervention to challenge centuries of corruption and complacency within the Church? Or was he, as some critics argue, a calculated pawn, strategically placed by powerful global forces to shift the Church's influence from spiritual salvation to political propaganda? To his followers, Robert Francis was a breath of fresh air, a reformer who brought bold truth to sacred halls long sealed by tradition. He dared to speak openly about inequality, climate change, and digital privacy. He embraced the marginalized, challenged world leaders, and called for a church that truly walked alongside the people. To them, he was a prophetic voice in a time of spiritual drought. But to his detractors, he was dangerous, reckless even. A man who blurred the line between faith and politics. A leader who dismantled sacred doctrine to make room for modern ideologies. Some even believe his rise was orchestrated, engineered not in prayerful silence but in backroom deals involving intelligence agencies, elite think tanks, and geopolitical alliances. Was his election truly inspired by the Holy Spirit, or by those seeking to control the largest religious institution on earth? Whatever side of the debate you fall on, one thing is undeniably clear. The name Robert Francis has left an indelible mark on the Catholic Church and the world at large. His papacy fractured centuries-old unity and forced millions to confront uncomfortable truths about power, faith, and the future of religion itself. So, what do you believe? Was Robert Francis divinely chosen, or deliberately placed? A hero of the people, or a figurehead of a deeper agenda? Let's dive into this conversation together. Share your thoughts in the comments below, and don't forget to like this video, share it with fellow truth seekers, and subscribe to the channel for more revealing deep dives like this one. Your voice matters, and the conversation is just getting started.